Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Christmas Minis Stuff It! I am so excited for this one. This is probably one of my favorites, honestly. I think it's hilarious and I love it. And the coworker that I plan to give it to is so funny, and I know if he doesn't get a kick out of it, I'm gonna cry, but he will, so it doesn't matter. He won't be offended. He's gonna like it. It's perfect for his sense of humor, so I'm very excited. So, okay, we're recording. What are we starting with, Handsome Man?
What?
By the way, you guys, I got my Handsome Man to help me with narration this time, so it's not just me reading stupid questions.
I helped with the stupid questions sometimes,
Yeah, like 2 out of like 10, honey.
so I helped. I'm glad we established this.
Okay, what are we talking about?
White Collar, since you finished it a while ago, and I don't think we ever spoke about it.
That was a really good show. So, Elle and Mozzie were my favorite characters. And you're supposed to do the summaries of these. I don't know. I can't do this. I was going to go straight to spoiler territory.
So it's, yeah, good job. It's there's a show on USA in the, I pulled some stuff up just so I don't have to search for it, like 2009 era. And it's kind of like Catch Me If You Can if it were a serialized TV show. The idea is that there's a charismatic and attractive young forger slash art thief slash whatever who gets caught by an FBI agent, and so he goes to jail. And then, for various reasons, he winds up basically on like a work release thing where, yeah, you can help me catch bad guys and you won't have to spend your entire sentence in jail. You're on house arrest with a limited range, but at least you're not sitting in
Jail.
And there's, of course, a whole bunch of intrigue and stuff, and it's not very realistic at all, but it's fun. It's got some good characters,
good.
yeah. And
I highly recommend it.
it's just, yeah, the characters are fun. Neil's funny.
Yes, Neil is the art thief.
The FBI, the FBI agent is named Peter Burke. He's fun.
His wife Elle is the best.
Yes,
her name is actually Elizabeth, but they call her Elle.
And that she's played by Tiffany Thiessen from.
And she is beautiful, and she looks like she could be the mother of Alexandra Daddario, who is also incredibly beautiful.
Yes, and technically in the show, if only very briefly.
True.
I guess it's a mild spoiler, but whatever.
Well, I mean.
And then the other fun one is Neil's friend Mozzie.
Yes, he's my favorite.
Yes.
They've been friends since before the show started.
Yeah, and she really likes him.
I love him. He's great.
And there's a couple of others who kind of come in and out, and there's more FBI agents and whatnot, but those are the main characters. And yeah, it's dumb fun. It's kind of got like a quasi Mission Impossible vibe, in that like you have to do this thing. We're gonna do a heist or some sort of thing, and like you can't, because he's supposed to, like, the whole point is, even though he's technically a good guy or working for the FBI, there's a whole lot of
double crossing sometimes.
yeah, because like, oh, I still need to steal this thing and not get caught and blah 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 blah. So like usually the solution isn't kill everybody and leave.
Yeah, it's burn the place down with all the valuables inside. But I have actually taken the valuables and hidden them somewhere else and created perfect duplicates to make it appear that I did not steal them.
Yeah, like lots of fun little clever things like that. The dialogue's just good. The chemistry's great between all the characters.
Yeah, the actors worked really well together.
The blatant advertising is not so great.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. All the cars is really stupid. But no, it was really funny. The first time that Elle and Mozzie interacted, it was exactly how I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because like I had imagined it for a while, because they didn't interact for a little while.
Yeah, no, it's quite a while.
And then when it finally happened, I was like, that is exactly what I wanted, and this makes me so happy.
Yeah, like they kind of knew what everyone wanted to see from the show for the most part, and dealt with it. It's not
they
perfect.
felt like fully realized characters, though.
Yeah.
Like at no point was I like, wow, that was really different for his character. That was out of character.
Yeah.
Except for when.
Well, there were moments, yeah. Like, it's not a perfect show, but it's one of those good, like, kind of junk food shows that, like, it's fun to leave on and just watch, and, like, don't overthink it. Don't.
Just have fun.
Yeah, just go with it. It's gonna be dumb sometimes.
It's worth it.
It starts a little slow. I think it took you a couple of episodes to warm up.
Yes, it did take me a couple.
Yeah, I don't like this one, and I don't like that one. It's okay, it'll get better.
I mean, I liked I liked Peter Burke at the start. I didn't like Neil.
Yeah.
I think that was a big thing for me because I was just like, I do not like the absolute main protagonist. And then eventually I was like, okay, no, I adore Neil.
Yeah.
I think the biggest downfall for this show, spoiler not spoiler, is someone gets shot in the chest and the episode ends. And I think it's a season finale, right?
Yeah, it's
and
not
then
just the chest, it's like clearly in his heart. Like, it's
like
not
chest,
even,
you know? And then the next season starts and, oh no, it was in his stomach and he's still alive.
Yeah, and like...
And I was kind of just like, are you kidding me? He's dead.
It was very clearly one of those they wanted a really talked about season finale.
And then they were like, oh crap, this character was a fan favorite, we can't do that.
Yeah, like I don't think they ever even planned to. I think it was just that kind of cheap tactic that you can get in, especially like TV shows where they really want a cool season finale, so they do something that's like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. How are they going to resolve that? And the answer is they're going to pretend it never happened almost immediately into the next episode.
Yeah.
By episode 2 of the next season, that'll be all forgotten.
I mean, they had talked about this character getting shot. But it was never like, oh yes, you were minutes from death.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant how much they let him get away with. But whatever.
It was so good.
Yeah, it's a really fun show. It does a really good job of just, I guess, just making it work. Is that a fair way to put it? Like, yeah, it just, they don't. I'm trying to think of a proper way to put it, but like they don't spend a lot of time, or I guess it's because it's what is it, like problem of the week, you know, like oh, we've got a different problem every week. You can usually like get through stupid stuff. There is an overarching plot about like how is Neil going to do this. Like the initial overarching hook is that Neil's almost at the end of his sentence, having been caught by Peter before the show started, and then it opens with him breaking out of prison. And it's like, why would he break out of prison when he's like literally 2 weeks away from the end of his sentence? What the hell's going on? And it turns out that his girlfriend, who was also a thief with him, is in trouble and there are problems. And
he breaks out to
and he's trying to save her, basically. And so what's going on with her and him trying to find out more while Peter doesn't want him to or is trying to protect him is just all really well done. Well, mostly. But,
I mean, as an art major, I did appreciate, like, you know, they talked about colors and he would actually, you know, I don't think it was actually the actor, but they would have someone draw and paint directly in front of you. And so I really appreciated that because it's like they freaking care. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my favorite episode is there is a guy. Oh, well, I'm just gonna. It doesn't matter. Neil is on a date with. No, he's on a fake date with a woman. He had to pretend to be. Neil had to pretend. No, wait. Peter, Elle's husband. What is his name? Peter. Okay. Peter had to pretend to be Neil for, you know, shenanigans or whatever. Or, you know, he's the actual FBI agent. And so this girl that he's on a fake date with, because he would never cheat on Elle, and their relationship is perfect, and I adore them.
Oh,
you can laugh, but I love them.
Yes.
He is on a fake date with her, and so they go to Neil's apartment, and she's like, oh, you should paint me. And Peter's like, huh? Because he is not artistic at all. He has no artistic bone anywhere in his body.
Yeah.
And Neil ends up hiding in he's in the closet, and in the closet there is a two-way mirror, and so Peter sets himself up because I guess he knew about the two-way mirror. He puts his easel so, you know, the people in the closet can see, and the girl is on the other side of it, and he just writes "help me" all over it. And so they called Mozzie. And they were like, you know, Mozzie, you got to get over here. So Mozzie busts in, and he's like, oh, hey, boss, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then Peter's like, you know, oh, you need to go get me my suit from the closet. And Mozzie's just like, huh? You know, he has no idea what the heck is going on. But he does play along. He did really well. It was believable.
Yeah.
So Mozzie goes to the closet, and Neil is in there. And he drew the woman because he had a good perspective of her from where Peter was. And he's like, you need to find a way to give this to Peter without making it obvious you're giving it to him. And so he gives him a suit, and he hides it behind the suit. He brings the suit over to Peter, and he hands the painting to him, and the suit. Peter hooks up the painting, and he's like, okay, I have one little thing to add. And then he turns it around, and it looked like he painted her from her perspective. And it was hilarious. And I think that had to have been my favorite episode, because that was just...
There were a lot of
It
fun
was
little
so
moments,
good.
because he's just so awkward and, like, completely, like, trying not to piss off his wife. And she's great. Like, it's one of those ones. They don't ever even pretend. Like, I think there's one episode where they have some kind of fabricated friction for something stupid, but they don't pull that. Like, I hate when shows do that, because it's just a cheap way to kind of get, plot tension, and it doesn't usually go anywhere.
Well, especially because, like, if you seem like you have an established, solid, stable relationship, and you know that your husband has to sometimes go undercover, you're going to be like, okay, well, as long as you didn't, get under the sheets with her, and you come back home to me to my bed, I'll forgive you. And that's basically how it was, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Oh, the lead up to the date. I remember now. It was you have to parade yourself around and have women, make bets on you, and whoever wins the bet gets to take you out on a date.
Yeah, an auction.
An auction. I couldn't remember what it was.
Not a slave ring, an auction.
Well, I mean, it's basically slavery, if that's how you're talking about it.
No, it's one
but
of those auctions.
They had no faith in Peter for this. And I think he was talking with his wife on the best way to answer questions, wasn't he?
Something.
Didn't Elle help him with it? I think it was.
Yeah.
But Neil, they were like, oh, Neil's going to be the one who gets the date because he's the best looking guy. And I will say, Neil was the best looking guy. But Peter was not an ugly dude, all right? He was quite handsome, just noticeably older. And so he completely bombs. Nobody puts a bet on him. I think Elle does in the end because she feels embarrassed for him, maybe. Yeah. Or something. Someone does eventually, just because they're like, pity. But Peter's, his gets going until that woman that he goes on that date with at Neil's place puts a really high bet on him and wins him.
No,
see, that's the thing. Like, I remember a lot of details. Really silly one-offs, and it's because they were good. When you have a good one-off episode, I really enjoy it. Sorry, that was a long tangent.
No, it was fun, yeah. And, that's the thing, is, they're just really fun, silly setups. The overarching plots get pretty ridiculous. Like, there's all sorts of just completely over-the-top stuff.
Shenanigans.
It's not even remotely, realistic at any point, but it's just fun. And the characters are fun. I really liked, I think it was Sarah, the insurance agent lady, way later.
Was that the second love interest?
Yeah, Sarah. Yes, that's her name.
Yes. Is there a picture of her?
Let's see.
Sarah Ellis.
You know what, if I just look it up, I'll find one.
Well, why didn't you just click the link with her name?
Because it's just going to be more text, because that's Wikipedia.
Yes, okay, I really liked her.
Yeah, they had fun chemistry.
She was fun.
Yeah. And it's just a lot of feel-good moments, kind of. Well, not super feel-good, but, people looking out for each other stuff.
Mm-hmm. I totally believed that Neil and Peter had a genuine friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
And every time Neil did something to hurt that friendship, I felt Peter's hurt. You don't trust me? I know I'm your boss, I'm an FBI agent and all that, but, we're friends, so...
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, is there anyone we're forgetting? There are the other FBI agents, Clinton and, Diana. Diana's fun.
She was the lesbian, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, I loved her.
Yeah.
She was great!
Yeah, she was really well done. And they don't over-focus. Well, they kind of do, unfortunately. That's right. They like to drop out. Yeah.
They really like to focus on the fact that she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
Because she was drop-dead gorgeous. And they made use of that. They would make her flirt a lot. And then, there'd be the guys in the van, and she'd be out there flirting, and one of the guys in the van who doesn't know everybody yet would be like, oh, does she have a boyfriend? And all the other guys would be like, you have no chance. And he's like, oh, I'm going to try anyways. And then, oh, well, she's a lesbian.
Yeah. It was not...
They did not... I wish they had handled that smoother.
Yeah.
But, you know what? In the end, she was a badass woman, so I will at least give her that.
Yeah.
And then the other FBI agent, what was his name? The black guy.
Clinton, I think that's.
Was it Clinton?
Yeah.
I really liked him too. He was fun. He was the one who eventually got promoted higher, isn't he? Pretty sure it was him.
I think so.
Yeah, he was great.
Question mark? Like, yeah, probably.
I liked the girl more than him, not gonna lie, but he was still really fun. And that's the thing, like, there were times when I wanted more of the two of them because I did like them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I don't look back and go, oh man, it sucks, because they were my favorite. They weren't, but I liked them. So yeah.
Yeah, they're mostly well done.
Yeah. And the dog that, pops in like season 2 and then like season 4. Elle and Peter's dog.
Yeah,
that was weird.
No, he's there for a bit. But
in like a few seasons. He's not in every season.
No.
Like, he was not in several of the first episodes, and then suddenly they have him, but they've had him for a while, and I was like,
Satchmo.
what? Satchmo, yeah. He was so cute. He was such a good puppy, too. He was what was he, a white lab, a yellow lab? Was he a lab?
I'm not sure. I don't think he was a lab, but it was a
No?
longer-haired breed, I think.
He wasn't a collie.
Or maybe not.
I don't know. I'm not good with breeds,
find
but he was
out.
so cute.
Oh, yellow lab. Yeah, he was a lab. That's right.
I win!
For some reason, I thought he was longer-haired.
I'm the best. I'm the best around. Okay, so do we have anything else to say about White Collar?
Apparently, a lot of people also asked what happened to him.
He lived. He was alive.
Oh
in the
no,
last...
but as in like how he just kind of disappeared out of the show, the dog.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, they're like probably logistics. They just couldn't find,
a dog that looked enough like him.
or whatever dog they had, like they couldn't get, or yeah, it's just and plus
happen.
having a pet in a show is an extra complication. Like, granted, it's not like they were having him do tricks or anything, but at the same time, it's just one more moving part to have to deal with. Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone else that's like worth mentioning. The villains are kind of well done. There's a lot of good actors who play some of the villains.
Oh yeah, they got.
Crowley.
Oh yes, they got Crowley from Supernatural, and he was also one of the characters from Firefly. I believe he was in an episode of Doctor Who. Like, this man has been in everything, and he is wonderful. And he was a bad guy, and he was wonderful on this show as well.
Yeah.
As to be expected with him. I can't remember the actor's name. I don't care. He's Crowley to me.
Yeah.
But
It's not
him, yes.
him?
Curtis Hagen. That's
That's
him.
the
That is him.
Character's name.
Okay,
The actor's
what is the
name.
actor's name? I
Mark
don't know.
A. Shepard.
Mark A. Shepard. That sounds more correct.
There you go. Yeah, no, they have a lot of really good actors in the show, or good performances, and it helps make it fun. That it's just cheesy enough. Like, it's not too much, but it's definitely not taking itself too seriously either. There's a lot of there's the hostage episode where
they take Elle hostage.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or actually it happens twice, doesn't it?
I think it happened 3 times.
Maybe 3 times.
Like, there was the one where her and Peter were taken hostage.
Well, yeah, because they
really
just happened.
liked
Yeah,
that
that one's
one.
fun because they just happened to be.
They
at
were
the
leaving
place.
for their vacation.
Yeah, that's what it was. And it was just completely random criminals. It wasn't targeted or anything. And it was that was
a
fun.
great episode.
And it was like a Bonnie and Clyde villain group. Yeah.
Well, and then her and her husband were they were in sync.
Yes.
Or he would know exactly what she was trying to do, and he'd be like, "No, Elle, no! I am the FBI agent. Stop it!"
Yeah. And then she does it anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I had a good idea.
There was the one where Peter himself was taken hostage and put in that cell, and he had to break himself out.
Yeah.
When he called Neil and had to these are the things in the room. Tell me how I can break out.
Yeah. Here's what I've got. Go.
I laughed.
They do that a lot. It's really fun. Just the put someone because that happens to Neil too a few times, doesn't it? Where he's like, I don't know what to do here. Actually, I think one of my favorites now that I think about it was there's some debutante or something that they think is the villain, and they need to seduce her, and Neil just completely fails, and then she immediately starts hitting on Peter. Was
that the way older woman?
Yeah. 'Cause she's an older woman, and and she's and so even his wife is laughing at him about the whole thing when he finally tells her about it. She's like, "Oh my god, you don't know how to flirt! You idiot.
Yeah, they've been together since like high school or something, right?
No, I think it's like college. No, because he was an FBI agent when they met, because that's part of their story, is that he put a detail on her to try and get information, and then she held up a sign with like her phone number on it or something.
Yeah, like you want to go on a date or whatever. Yeah. Okay, but still, like they've been together for like at least 10 or 20 years or something.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. Which is why that one time when they tried to make it seem like she was actually upset with him, I was really angry because I was like, no, they have a positive, stable relationship.
Yeah.
And then I was proven correct, and I was very happy.
Yeah. Again.
I don't like those games. That always annoys me because it's like, unless you show that one of them already does not trust the other, unless they get a new job where this has never happened to them before, it annoys me.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
like
it's not
that
even
trope.
just that. It's just, like, as I said, it's usually a really cheap way to get drama out of a show.
Yeah, and I don't
to just
like
do
that.
the stupid communication issues where, oh my god, they misunderstood each other. You know, where two people could say, hey, I think that thing's possessed. Like, oh, okay, it's possessed. It's not normally, like, or whatever. They do that especially with relationships a lot, where, like, two characters don't talk, and now everything's weird, and nothing works, and they didn't lean on that too hard, at least not with Peter and Elle. Did they do it too much with Neil? I mean, Neil's
I
relationship.
think they did it more with Neil, but even then, I don't
Yeah,
think it
well,
was
like,
that
his
bad. 'Cause
relationships
his were
are-
more physical than emotional.
Well, and also usually if he's lying to them, it's actually about something he needs to lie about,
Yeah.
because he's trying, like, in one case, he's dating an insurance agent and he's stealing things. And it's like,
and that's, you can't do that.
yeah, so that was...
Who actually does end up getting fired because of what he does. So
That's
it's
right,
not
yeah.
all roses with him.
Yeah, and they
And I appreciate that.
play that pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, do I ever just want to buy a Ford.
God, yeah, it was so stupid how often they would show off these vehicles. Like, you know, there was one where I think Elle is driving, and I don't remember who's in the vehicle with her, but it doesn't really matter. She's driving, and then the person comments like, oh, on the console here there are a bunch of leaves on the tree. What does that mean? And she's like, oh, my car is eco-friendly, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, kill me now. All right, you guys. My last car, the one that I sold in the beginning of 2020, was a Ford. I will never go back to that company. So every time they were trying to show off their Ford and make it look good, I was like, no, y'all can go to hell. Screw Ford.
Yeah. It's really blatant, and it's
Oh, it
unfortunate, because
absolutely
it's especially
is.
during that time where, like, you know, it's a daytime TV show on a not great network. You know, it's not like a main network that's pulling a ton of viewers, so you can tell they were like, well, we want to fund this season, and Ford wants to give us a pile of money, but they want to make some changes to the script. Like, it's literally an ad in the middle of the episode, and it's just... It's thankfully never super pertinent. Like, they don't totally... I've seen one or two shows where they'll actually sabotage the plot to make it, like, the ad relevant.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, they do it, like, once in this show. We're like, oh, thank God I've got these brakes or cameras or something.
Oh,
But
yeah.
even then, it's short, at least. So thank God they didn't do that. But yeah, you will have to stomach some really cringy obvious
None of them go
advertising.
more than like a minute, so...
Yeah, but it feels like a long
It-
minute.
yeah, I know.
Oh boy, the Ford commercial.
At least it's not actually a commercial, though.
Yeah.
Like, real
Right.
commercials. The volume goes up, you know, like
Yeah, true.
10 million decibels.
True.
And that is the
I'm
worst.
surprised they didn't just have Neil and Peter scream everything. But yeah, no, it was a fun show, and they just executed well.
I think they did. They really
Yeah.
did, yeah.
And Mozzie's fun because he's so... We didn't really talk about him, but he's, like, quirky. And, you know, because he's the...
He is absolutely terrified of anybody ever finding out who he is.
Well, like, not only... He's
no
paranoid.
one knows his real name.
Yeah. He's paranoid, and he's a conspiracy theorist, and more of a 2009 conspiracy theorist rather than a today conspiracy theorist. And so, like, and he's also incredibly talented, just like
He's
Neil.
so smart
You know,
with computers.
Well, he can also do all the art forgery stuff. Like, they're both ridiculously
that's
talented people, you know? Like, oh, Van Gogh by this afternoon, you know? Like, with authentic paint, you know? Not even just a look-alike. And so it's fun just because of how he interacts with the other characters because of his quirkiness. Like, obviously, Neil knows him, but him having to deal with the fact that, you know, Neil has decided this FBI agent is his friend is hilarious because he always calls him Suit. And just the total lack of distrust between the two of them leads to some really good scenes.
Oh, absolutely.
I think one of my favorites is like Mozzie has to get something from somewhere. Like they're gonna get a lot of money really quickly. And he's like, you're gonna have to come with me and you're gonna have to not ask questions because you're not gonna wanna know. And it's just like, it's such a cliche and it's so well done. Like just him, like they go to like a container place. There's a lot of noise. He brings he puts them on like a scavenger hunt for random items. And it's really fun. And then of course, yes, he immediately gets along with the suit's wife because, oh, well, someone of class, you know.
And because she not at a museum. She works at a
She's a caterer.
Caterer, that's what it is. But she has to make all the decorations as well and stuff.
Oh yeah, she's like a major, like like a wedding or major party
like
or
major
political
things. So
event
she
caterer.
knows art as well, and so her and Mozzie will talk about it, and it's so adorable, and I love it.
Yeah,
and I love them.
It's very fun, and like I said, it's a light show. Given all the other junk we talk about on the Cross Stitch channel.
There are no scary episodes that are not child friendly, right?
Oh.
Okay, of the things we've talked about,
well,
this is one of the more child friendly shows.
Oh, no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't know if a kid would want to watch this. It's probably just boring to them.
Yeah, probably.
But, a lot of innuendo, but,
yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, no, yeah, it's not hyper-violent, it's not gross, it's not, I think there's some swearing, it's definitely way more chill than 99% of what we watch.
It's true. And
it's a big deal usually if, like, someone does get hurt or harmed. Does happen, people do die, but, quite violently in one or two cases. By which I mean, like, a bomb. Yeah, like...
And you don't see it.
Yeah, you're not seeing chunks.
Or the
you just
aftermath.
See a bad CGI explosion, but...
And then you see the person's reaction of, like,
no, not plot-relevant character number 2.
Aww.
I think, in fact, one of the most violent things is Mozzie getting... Well, yeah. Yeah, and that doesn't matter.
Nope.
But yeah, it's kind of funny, because, like, I tried getting you to watch Burn Notice because I watched White Collar and Burn Notice at the same time because to me they had the same sort of like, this is a chill show, it's not trying too hard vibe. You bounced off Burn Notice hard. I still don't feel it was in its stride when you did, but...
I gave it like 4 episodes.
I know.
And it has Bruce Campbell, who I love, and I still was not feeling it. Like...
Yeah, but you didn't get to where Bruce Campbell started to be Bruce Campbell, but yeah, like, it's I get it. Like, I might try again one day, like, I'll watch an episode and be like, okay, we'll watch this one, and if you don't like that, I'm done. But yeah, as far as, like, easygoing TV goes, those are some of my favorites.
And that's the end.
And that is the end of Christmas Minis Stuff It. I got 2 hours and 16 minutes of footage. So, there we go. Love it. Stuff It. The original pattern had it pink instead of red, but I'm giving it to a male coworker, so I was like, I'm gonna make it red. Just, I don't want to deal with potential fallout or someone being like, yeah, you know how it is. Yeah. Do you have anything to add, handsome man?
I don't have any numbers.
What?
I can't add without numbers. I like that you still believe what I say has meaning. Like you ask for clarification as if it's somehow going to get better once you understand. It doesn't.
One day I'm gonna just get that little section of a video where you say a pun or something, and I'm gonna send it to Alex and be like, hey, you should send him more puns. He seems to be enjoying them lately.
That would be a poor decision.
No, I think it would be great because he would send you more puns.
You have no idea what.
And then you would tell me what they are, and I would laugh.
Look, I'm going to start a self-help group for people who've known Alex.
I won't have to join it, so...
Yeah, he likes you.
I like him as well. Why don't you like him?
Has something to do with the puns.
And yet he's your best friend. How does that work? Explain.
Step 1, he tells puns.
Yeah, and that makes him your best friend. No.
It's the end of it. There's no more steps.
I don't follow your logic. You're weird, handsome man.
Love you, dear.
Love you more. I'm gonna sign off now. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.